Welcome back to the Thrifty Food Plan channel, friends. I am so glad you are here. If you like what you see, please hit that like button and subscribe. So if you watch my grocery budget videos each month, you know that I do buy most of like my personal care, toothpaste, deodorant, shampoo, those sorts of things, as well as my cleaning supplies at the grocery store or at the Dollar Tree. Cleaning supplies being things like wipes and sprays and all that kind of thing. And, my budgets allocate $7 a week for those expenses when it's just me and $12 a week when the college phenom is home. But the truth is, I completely made those dollar amounts up because I have struggled for a long time to find any data that could help me figure out how much I should reasonably be spending on household items, like the non-food items that I typically buy at the grocery store. Well, I am happy to report that I have located what is called the Consumer Spending Report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And it includes line items for housekeeping supplies and personal care products and services. And this report is based on what US residents actually spend, like what we actually spend when we are buying household supplies and personal care products. So as we dig into this data, just a couple of cautions for everyone out there. First, 2020 obviously was COVID year, and the data does indicate that we spent less on personal care and services in 2020 because of, we weren't necessarily going out to get our hair cut. And that leads me to another caution, which is the personal care category does include services. So if you do pay someone to cut your hair, if you get manis and pedis, if you're male partner or you're a man and you go get like a beard trim, right? Those services are included in these dollar amounts. So just be mindful of that. For our Canadian viewers, I do have something for you at the end. So hang tight, hang with us here. So we're going to look at two ways you can use this data to set your budgetary goals and to design your budget each and every month. So first is the simple method. This is by far the simplest method. Just use the national average. So this report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics is based on consumer units, which is based on 2.5 humans. It's a little different than households, which is how a lot of other government sort of things are set. But it would be a place to start. And what the high level data in the report tells us is that the average US consumer unit spent $837 on household supplies and $646 on personal care products and services, for a combined total in 2020 of $1,483. So if you want to be average, stick with the average. But my guess is if you're watching this video, you're interested in lowering costs or being super thrifty. So I have adjusted downwards for those thresholds, and I kind of borrowed the reductions from the USDA Thrifty Food Plan, which I use to budget food. And what this would mean, some of us budget for these expenses annually, but some of us budget monthly or weekly. So what this kind of shows you what the layout would be if you want to be average, low cost, or thrifty. So if you want to be average, you shouldn't spend any more than $28.52 a week. If you want to be low cost, do not exceed $22.80. And if you want to be like me, don't spend more than $20.53. So this is the simple method. Now, our other option is what I'm calling the precision method, which, like the USDA's Thrifty Food Plan, you would set your goals based on who is actually in your household. And this involves a lot of math. There is a downloadable spreadsheet in the description box below that you can download for free. It's a Google spreadsheet. Just download a copy for yourself, and you can use it to calculate the math. But I'm going to walk everybody through it. So the first tab in the spreadsheet should be used by individuals who live alone. That's like me when the college phenom is not home. Single parents or guardians with kids under the age of 18. Doesn't matter if you have 2 kids or 5 kids. If you're a single parent, use tab A. And then tab A should also be used for households with no children. So let's get into this spreadsheet together. Okay, so we are in tab A of the spreadsheet. And again, this should be used by individuals who live alone, single parents and guardians, regardless of how many children you have, and adult households with no children. All right, so I'm going to start by doing this as if it is just me, because I actually need to know, because I live alone most of the time. So what it says, what the data says, and again, this is actually how much U.S. residents spent. So single people like me who live alone spent an average of $512 on household supplies and $423 on personal care in 2020. And when I combine those two things, it's $935. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and I'm going to put $935 in the box. And this automatically calculates for me, if I want to be low cost, my annual goal would be $748. Monthly goal, $62.33, or $14.38 per week. And if I want to be thrifty, it's going to be $673.20, $56.10 monthly, and $12.95 weekly. So as you all start seeing my budgets in the future, you're going to start seeing me use this $12.95 weekly goal for my household expenses that I typically buy at the grocery or at the Dollar Tree. Now, let's look at a different kind of household. Let's say I am a single parent or guardian with at least one child under the age of 18 living with me. The data shows that single parents are implicitly very thrifty, regardless of how many kids are in their household. They spend $547 on household and $863 on personal care, which brings single parents' annual combined expenses to $1410. So I'm going to go down here and put $1410 in the box, and it is going to calculate for me what my expenses, what my goals should be for my budget. So for a single parent who wants to be lower cost, their goal will be $21.69. A single parent who wants to be super thrifty, their goal will be $19.52 each week. So that is tab A. So use tab A if you are a single person, if you are a single parent or guardian, regardless of the number of children you have, or if you're in a household with no children. Okay, we are now in tab B. Okay, so again, tab B should be used for households with at least 2 adults with children under the age of 18. And it's a little more complicated because if you fall in these categories, you actually get sort of a premium for all the extra costs that go along with having children. So let's say you are a 2 adult, 2 child household. What the data says is that when there are 4 humans living in a household, The average cost is $1,290 a year for household supplies. So I'm going to put 1290 in here. And a 4-human household that includes children typically spends $874 a year on personal care items. Now you get a little bit of a premium if you have children. And it's based on how old your oldest child is. So let's say that your oldest child in your 4-person household, I'm down here now, right, is under 6 years old. So you get a little bit of a premium, which will pre-populate here. Your annual combined total is going to be $2,752.86 with the premium, the child premium, because your oldest child is under the age of 6. So you're going to put $2,752.86 into this box, and it will then show you sort of what the goals should be if you want to be lower cost or thrifty. So if you're a 4-person household, the oldest child living with you is under the age of 6, your thrifty goal will be $1,982 for the year. Your monthly goal will be $165.17, and your weekly goal will be $38.12 if you want to be thrifty. You with me? Okay. So let's do this for a different kind of family. Let's say that you are a 3-human household, right? Your household supplies would be $835. Your personal care supplies would be $688. And let's say the oldest child living with you is 10 years old. So your oldest child living with you is between 6 and 17 years old. You would then get the premium for children in that age group, which brings your annual combined total to $1,736. And you'll put $1,736.69 in this box, and it will calculate for you what your goals should be. So your new annual goal, if you want to be thrifty, should be $1,250.42, or $104.20 a month, or $24.05 a week. So again, tab B should be used for households that have at least 2 adults and at least 1 child. All right. If you have any questions and you can't get the spreadsheet to work, just drop it in the comment box below. I am happy to help everyone. All right. Finally, for our Canadian friends, thank you for hanging in there with me. I was not able to find any data from Canada for household supplies, but I was able to find a report for your personal care. Okay, now your data is a little older. It's from 2019. The benefit of that is it doesn't have any of the COVID wonkiness. I think the downside is there's been a lot of inflation since then. But what that data shows is that the typical Canadian household, and they do use household instead of consumer unit, but the typical Canadian household spent 1,384 Canadian dollars on personal care items in 2019. So again, if we reduce those costs, right? If we reduce them to low cost, reduce them to thrifty, this is what your totals would look like. And if you budget monthly or weekly, this is what your simple method calculation would show. So if you live in Canada and you want to be average, you should be spending no more than $26.62 Canadian on your personal care items. Low cost, $21.29, and super thrifty, $19.16. So I just have to say to everyone, like, I'm really relieved to actually have some data to help inform my budget for household expenditures, both household supplies and personal care items. I'd love to get everybody's thoughts about if this seems really, really expensive to you. I know when I first saw the numbers, and a lot of the numbers were like $1,000, $1,400, I was like, that's a lot of money. But then when I broke it out by week, it didn't seem that bad, because if I have a week where I have to buy laundry detergent, toilet paper, and my face cream, I'm gonna spend a bunch of money, right? So anyway, I hope that all of this information is useful to you. If you've got other ways that you set your budgetary goals for personal care items and household supplies, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And I would just love any other comments you have. So please do click that like button. Please subscribe. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And do come back next Thursday when we'll have another grocery haul and meal plan. Thanks so much for visiting.